Hi, I'm John Britton, Project Manager from ProX Services, and today we're going to talk about how to change a bag filter properly. There's a couple reasons why you want to change your bag filters. The main reason is you want to keep proper flow and proper filtration through your system, whether the bag filter is on the influent or the effluent of the system. This is a typical 6-stage bag filter. Before you begin any bag filter change, you want to make sure you have the proper PPE on, safety glasses, rubber disposable gloves, and any other PPE that might be proper to use depending on what kind of water you're filtering. First thing you want to do is go ahead and close the effluent of the bag filter. And then you want to close the influent. On this system, we're going to drain the bag filter down and take the pressure off with this bottom drain valve. The water is draining into a containment and being reprocessed back into the system. Once you check your pressure gauge to make sure there's no pressure left on the system, you can go ahead and open your air bleeds and make sure the pressure's been relieved. And you're just going to wait a few seconds to let some of that water bleed off, so when we open the housing, you don't get wet. Depending on the micron that you're using for a bag filter in your housing, you're going to want to make sure that you change it when you get pressure differential from your influent gauge to your effluent gauge. That can range anywhere from 5 to 10 psi. It just depends on the application and site conditions. Make sure you have the proper wrench and equipment to take off your lid. You want to also kind of do this in a star pattern just to make sure you don't damage the gasket. When you lift up the lid, you want to just be cautious. There could be water in there that's going to come out at you. Make sure everybody's hands are clear. This bag filter also has a locking mechanism to make sure this lid doesn't fall back on you while you're changing the bag filter. If the water's low enough, you can go ahead and shut off your discharge and go ahead and change the bag filters out. Make sure the water drains into your housing. Make sure your bag filters are placed inside your containment. And make sure you dispose of the bag filters in a proper manner according to the site that you're working on. This system that we're working on today has got 5 micron bag filters on the discharge of the carbon system. So we're running a pretty fine micron bag filter. Being only 5 micron, it can actually plug up quite easily. So you have to pay close attention. Once you and your partner have gotten the bags replaced, make sure the housings are down all the way. You want to check your gasket, make sure it's in good condition. Make sure everybody's hands are clear. Have your partner release the lid. Be very careful when you're lowering it down. Make sure it lines up with the bolts correctly. And you're going to tighten the bolts down in a star pattern just to help prevent leaks and warpage of the lid on the bag filter. Keep in mind you are sealing this on a gasket. These don't need to be over tightened. Now that your bags are changed, you want to make sure all your valves are closed. Recheck where you're at down here for your drain valve, and make sure that you always open your influent valve first to charge the bag filter housing back up, and make sure the bag filter is properly sealed. So you open your influent, you'll get pressure on your system. This is a good time to check for leaks, make sure everything is working properly, and then you'll go ahead and open up your discharge. Once that's been done, you're going to want to bleed the air off of the tank. Once the air has been properly bled off your bag filter housing, it's back to optimal operation and filtration. And if you take these steps, you'll always change your bag filters in a safe and proper manner.